Guys, welcome back to the Match Out Podcast with myself, Paul Ciotto, Christopher Shea.
How's it going?
And we had such a great time with Coach Rossini in one of our previous episodes. We want to bring him back today, and we want to talk particularly about one of our favorite subjects, man shit.
That's what I felt like we kind of left out the other one. It was more intellectual man shit. Now let's just talk about the gritty, grindy man shit that just is what it takes to be successful.
And I think that, he's a great expert in the sense that he comes from a different time, even before ours, and see exactly what it was then and to what it is now. Like we're always breaking everyone's balls about.
Saying people have just gotten soft. Exactly, people have just gotten softer.
I disagree with you there.
And
did you say you disagree or you agree?
Don't disagree.
Oh, you don't disagree. Yeah.
What comes in your fucking ears?
Yeah, I gotta be honest. He keeps talking about how you can have a good coach and take these soft kids and make them good. I feel like you need a kind of a gritty, tough kid and a good coach to be successful.
Listen,
these kids are fucking soft. They're clog wearing, tree hugging, fucking pot smoking,
skinny jean wearing, sissies,
long hair, fucking what is it, man bun.
Yeah.
Come on already.
And phones.
It'd be a modern day scalping in my fucking house. I grab it by the fucking top of it.
My son says to me the other day, he goes, Dad, because his hair's getting fucking long, and I gotta be honest, for the record, you knew him. Yeah. I used to shave their heads bald.
Yes.
And by bald, I mean bald, like POW bald.
He was just talking about someone else.
Oh yeah. And so my son's growing. He's got a beard. He's growing this fucking mane.
Well, they're growing it for the Red Vikings.
That's the funny part. Yeah. So I'm over his house. I think it was last night, and I said, Paul, can you talk to him? I said, can you help me out? Because he's a big haircut advocate. Yeah. I go, can you help me out here? He goes, no, Dad, I'm not doing a man bun. He goes, I'm doing a Viking braid. I went, all right, I definitely like that more than a man bun, but
sounds better.
See, that's kind of quasi man shit. A Viking braid is badass. Let's be honest.
Well, Vikings are Vikings.
Vikings are Vikings.
Yeah, so but I can't disagree with that. But what have you seen? I mean, obviously, you come from there's the generation, basically the greatest generation in the world. World War I, II, so on and so forth. And
World War I.
Yeah. I want to be respectful.
That's when men were fucking men and women knew their place.
You got 18-year-olds storming the beach in Normandy, and then you got 18-year-olds today looking for a fucking safe place because a word hurt them. I mean, it's... But I mean, for real. That's what you're fucking dealing with.
There you are, no question.
No. It's like, you know what? You want to... it's like, really.
In my family, you didn't know if you were going to get the backhand or the broom.
And it wasn't a choice.
In my family, you still don't know that.
Right, exactly.
It's up in the air.
Yeah.
Right.
So how do you deal with the changes?
Again,
because you're a coach, so you got to kind of like accommodate everybody.
I'm optimistic all the time, right? So I go in with the same enthusiasm, the same things, and I'll tell you, many of the kids that are on the bubble, comply. They like it.
All right.
They want to be that. They want to be in that
direction.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. You kind of got to do it.
So it's more the parents that are just coddling too much.
Well, the parents are just worried about everything about their kids, right? And the thing is just like Paul said with his young son, he sent them out on a bus, a bunch of 11-year-old kids on his own. These kids don't get to experience that till they're in college, right?
Yeah. And by then it's too late. Let's be honest.
That's right. It doesn't. Nurturing a kid is a great thing, but you got to nurture them about ways of life. And there's bad things that happen.
Or you got to prepare them
Yeah.
for reality. Let's not even, these kids come out, they've been coddled their whole life. When they graduate college, they're thinking, I should just get a job. This is just expected of what's supposed to happen. And then they freaking panic when life actually starts to turn the heat up a little bit.
Small mistake, and it looks on their face shows devastation. And it's, it's just...
Or a small failure.
Right.
Even better. Because
Right.
they're so used to getting trophies. They're so used to getting 15-place ribbons.
Right.
They're so used to getting all these pats on the back for doing a mediocre job, let's be honest, at best.
Well, when I grew up, if your parents said nothing, that means
you did okay.
Yeah.
You did okay.
Right. And if they had to talk to you, it wasn't going to be...
It's because you messed up.
Right. And they just told you flat out, we don't want to see that anymore. And then my mother said, wait till your father gets home.
Totally. I gotta be honest, it didn't even get me. My mother knew better than to tell my father. My mother could have just tuned me up, ripped out my hair, threw me down a flight of stairs, lit me on fire. My father would walk to the door, how was he? He was fine. Because she knew that whatever she just did, he's doing 15 times worse.
That's exactly right.
But he'll light me on fire, put me out, light me on fire, put me out, light me on fire, put me out, just so I really suffer. No, I'm just kidding. Happy birthday, Mom.
But I think that's right. Happy birthday. But I think more so what you're describing too is that kids were allowed to fucking fail.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were allowed to cry.
Right.
It wasn't okay. Mom and dad didn't save you from everything. You know what? You fell down, you got hurt. Well, dust the dirt off and wash it off and let's fucking start over. I mean,
But more importantly,
that's
how
what
about
it's
this? If you weren't good at something, you did something else. If you were taking 15th place, my parents would be like, all right, listen, you're not that good. Let's play a different sport.
Right.
Maybe you're good at something else. You don't have to sit there and continue to be mediocre at something. There's so many other things out there. Try and find something else that you're good at.
But I think that does happen, a small
Yeah.
percentage, but I think sometimes that's a challenge. Kids got to take that stuff and make a challenge out of it. What do I got to do to get better?
These kids are soft. They're not making challenges out of anything.
Listen, I train kids on the side, and I love it, right?
Yeah, he does.
And you didn't have those things when I was growing up, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have your fathers and mothers even.
Hell no.
So-
They didn't go to any of your games.
These
They
kids-
didn't. They surely didn't go to your
These kids got
practices.
so much opportunity to get better at anything and everything in their lives.
Yeah.
And
The resources are there.
their parents will pay. You talk about money. There's parents that'll pay
Hell yeah, they will.
big money to get their kid, a half a second faster,
Sure.
right? And
But I think the process of paying for that is what we're talking about.
Right.
You know, if you're willing to go through, coach says you're going to run 140-yard dashes, you're going to run hills for an hour, you're going to do 100 push-ups because it's going to make you a half second faster. They're going to fucking do it.
Absolutely.
Because, I'm being facetious obviously, but you're going to do it because that's what it takes. So if it's going to cost you X to get coach to produce Y, you're going to do it, and it's the process that's important. That process applies to life. If you're not willing to do that,
that's the key.
you're not going to, that's the key, right?
That's the key to the whole thing. And if you get in a good situation, the kids coach properly, all that stuff goes well, their college career goes well, their life as husbands and fathers go well.
Well, they say uncoachable kids are unemployable kids.
Right. They're in their today. They're in their parents' basements till
That's
they're
the,
30
that's,
years
the,
old.
that's the biggest thing. Sitting at home.
My parents' basement was freaking real comfortable. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But we had a certain amount of time. We had to move on.
You gotta
before-
remember, I was in the
before
black and white
yeah.
TV era. And
We were
three
to a
channels.
degree.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
absolutely,
in the
yeah.
70s, it didn't, it just
Yeah.
started, but like,
We played outside. We learned our.
Of course.
We learned our bones out in the street.
so you were outside from the minute the sun came up to the minute it went
So you
down.
think technology is one of the biggest things that are destroying the youth?
is definitely retarding their development.
Well, I've smashed many of technology in my house when I felt it's
There's a
gotten
bunch
out
of
control.
technology in the
Yeah.
lake on the way
I
to my
fucking
house.
smashed the shit out of it.
So maybe
Really? Because this isn't about fucking video games. This
What'd you
isn't
do?
life.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah.
The viewers want to know.
I fucking took my son's game console and fucking smashed it in a million pieces. I took one of his other things and broke it over my leg and said, how's that?
Here's the worst. Here's the worst.
Yeah.
I've taken my son's stuff like, stop pointing that stupid Nerf gun at people's heads. So he
Oh, yeah,
doesn't-
I've done that too.
So I rip it out of his hand and I go like this. And it didn't break. And they're sitting there and they're trying, and it's my two oldest sons and they're like this. Oh shit. So I look at the gun and I went, and it didn't break again. So now I must have cut black and blue and bruised my leg till I broke that thing in a million pieces.
Yeah.
I literally went, bam, bam, my leg, and when I finished I was like, put it down. I was
You
like,
lived,
all right, guys, I'll see
you
you
lived
later.
for a week.
But I broke it.
And all the reason being because of what we're talking about here.
100%.
You know, it was the other day because Coach works with my son, privately 2 to 3 times a week. And he got the email from his college coach. And I'm going to paraphrase it. And it basically said, your ass better be ready. You better be in shape. You better be strong. You better be fast. Because what you're about to experience is like nothing that you're used to.
Wow.
You are vying for playing time.
You got a good coach.
And
Or you're gonna have a successful program because that guy's putting the best guy
But
on
the
the
point
field.
being is, he sent that out to him, and I'm sure to everyone else that's going to go there and play. But he, at that day, just got done telling him and ripping his ass open, and it just ironically happened the same time because he was ripping him. I walked in on it, and I said, "Well, why don't you tell Coach about the email you got?" And he pulled it up and read it to you, right? If you might want to, jump on that as far as what we're talking about.
he's got Cristiano's getting ready to play college football, and it's not going to be New Fairfield football. And you're going to get people from all over the country, from different cultures, different programs. different.
And there's no minimal plays in college.
No.
You either play or you don't.
Right.
The way it's supposed to be, the way real life is.
Right.
Yeah, baby!
It's competitive, and they've got to learn that, and they have to learn that when they're young. There's competition everywhere. You gotta make it your friend. Can't fight it. You know, just.
Like, I think the competition is going to make you better too. Let's be honest. You got a whole bunch of guys in there just banging hard, everyone just going.
It's preparing you for
to the top.
life. It's preparing you for life, and that's ultimately what it comes down to. And you have to, like, it's also like you spoke earlier about. You know, you got to be able to put a kid in a position, or a person. Even in our company, you got to put people in the positions to succeed and do what's best. But I'll tell you right now, if you can't do it, you're out. You are fucking out. Because I'll do it myself.
Right.
Period. And it's not personal, it's business. And that's the problem. There's no no one takes that business mentality and applies it to life. You know, and at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to as far as the success for people.
It's the line in the sand.
And being,
You're either willing to do
being
it or
around
not.
people that are going to do it. And I got to tell you, as far as this fucking guy goes, in all the years of coaching that I've been exposed to, he's the only coach that went to my son's spring ball practice, okay, to speak to the linebacker coach to find out what he has to do to get him ready. On his own time, his own dime. I did not ask him to do it. Okay? Why?
Because he wants to get your kid prepared.
Wants to prepare, but he knows what it's going to take.
To be successful.
He wants to get the information so he can apply it. But I think in that experience when you were there, I remember when you called me and you said to me, man, I can't believe what I saw. And here you are with this plethora of experience. And you're like, I'm going to use this for the youth, and I learned this, right? I mean, you want to extrapolate a little bit on
No,
that.
these kids are in great opportunities.
Right.
Just, you know, the schools are different. The atmosphere is different, and you know, he's in a great spot. I have to be truthful. Arthur Avenue had something to do with going.
That makes sense.
Listen, I'm with it. If it helps you get there, I'm all about it.
And the fact that I was
Now
scoping.
you like cannolis. That doesn't hurt.
I'm off the desserts, but I'll hit the other
The
stuff.
pizza,
but
baby.
That's it. So, you know, and I told Cristiano, I said, listen, this is going to be great for you. It's, you know, it's going to be, you're going to have a great opportunity. And I said, the best part is me and Dad can walk down to that bar that's only about 100 yards outside of the school complex.
Exactly.
Right?
Have a couple pops.
That's right. We pregame. We got to get ready for this.
A little tailgating at the bar.
Oh,
That's
it's right on the
my
water.
way to tailgate, inside and air conditioned at the bar. Yeah. With wings.
When we went there, when they were recruiting him, we were there, and the tailgating is ridiculous. Because they have like all the best food places in the area. They come and they bring.
They set up little tents.
Yeah, they set up their everything in the
you
parking lot.
So I don't even care about the football. I'm going to go there, eat, and take a nap during the game.
It's
Mr. Shea, the food quality is going to elevate.
Well, remember, I went to Fordham, so I'm kind of
Right
yeah. I know Little Italy. So
yeah.
I used to go get a $4 haircut
Yep.
and a cannoli.
Awesome.
That $4, I'd walk in there, she'd give me a cannoli and a haircut.
I don't know.
Well, no, it's right
Well, Sui Maritime and Fordham, and
they're close to each other.
Yeah, also, but it's
They right on Arthur Avenue built for Fordham. They built 2 big college rental
Oh,
rentals
housing.
for
Yeah.
housing right on Arthur Avenue. What a way to go!
So,
Right?
could you imagine?
Huh?
I gotta be honest, you better be rich though, because those cheap. You're
I was in
not
South-
eating your food plan. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was in South Dakota. It was corn or corn dogs. That was the big thing.
I think what just corn dogs and wheatgrass, right?
But the beef was
Beef's delicious.
And the women were corn fed.
Like Texas steak great for steak as well. Best steak I ever had was in
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
But I think if you take that school in the Bronx, right?
Yes.
But when you went there, to get back to what we're talking about here, the particular kids you saw attending that university, and because of what it's like,
Right.
What's your take on that?
Oh,
I mean,
it's fascinating. It's wonderful.
because it's like an enigma in today's society.
Yes.
Right?
All the things that we talk about,
Well, it's an academy too, so
Right.
that makes a big difference.
You can-
There's discipline.
you can smell it.
Yeah.
It's there. You know.
That's the problem with kids. There's no
Yeah.
fucking discipline anymore. The parents don't discipline, the teachers don't discipline, because everybody's afraid. Someone's gonna catch him on film doing the wrong thing, they're gonna report him. Some neighbor, dude, I've almost kicked every one of my neighbors' fucking asses for butting into my business when I have my son out there in the
Absolutely.
fucking yard cleaning the fucking leaves at 2 in the morning in a rainstorm. because he pissed me off. Guess what? That I didn't whoop his ass, but I damn sure made sure he was out there. And so when the neighbor comes over, are you okay? Do we need to do this? Shut the fuck up and get off my property.
Right.
How's that? Or I'm going to get you off my property. That's the problem. There's no discipline with these kids.
You must be
anymore.
very popular in your neighborhood.
Well, I've recently had a little tragedy, so I've been a lot nicer to my neighbors as of such, because they
The ones that stepped up.
Yeah, the ones that stepped up, 100%, 100%. But yes, I'm not well liked in my neighborhood.
And the fact that those parents had the nerve to even.
Yeah, like
That's
that's
even more important.
Yeah, how
Who
dare
are you?
you?
Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you?
Yeah.
We're raising men, not mice.
And here's the best
I mean,
part.
not framed.
Look at my kids. I mean, my kids have turned out pretty good, despite me.
But they respect it more.
Well, that's the key. They under the one thing that I may have failed at a lot of things.
Right.
But the one thing I feel like I instilled in them is respect. Yeah. And if you have respect, you can build off of that and do anything and do everything else. Because nowadays, respect is such an oddity that when people see it, they're like, "Holy smokes!" The kids stick out.
Yeah.
But along those lines, sometimes I see the shows my kids are watching, like the comedy shows for kids.
Yeah.
All the men, the fathers, are buffoons. In
Yes.
all the
Oh,
shows.
hell yeah,
Have you
absolutely.
noticed that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're stupid.
It's the demasculizing of men.
They're
You're not allowed to be a
effeminate.
man anymore.
You're not allowed to be a man anymore.
That's the
They're
fucking problem.
morons. It bothers me.
Buffoonery, like you said. It's a fucking
Well, I've
truth.
got a friend of mine calls it the pussification of our kids.
There it is. 100%.
That's it.
I mean,
We need to get T-shirts for that because it's the truth. You're raising a bunch of pussies, and again, it goes back.
And
to
it's out of
conduit.
fear, though. I hate to say it's out of fear because there's so many freaking people out there so willing to say, "You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that." It's like, are you
But
crazy?
it goes back to listen to this, how society has changed. You know, the political climate had a lot to do with that up until now, up until the last year. You know, and it's a matter again of
Entitlement.
But I think it's innate, right? Men aren't fucking men anymore. Like if you don't have a positive role model at home, okay,
How can you expect to be?
how can you expect to be anything to emulate what it takes? I mean, that's that's what it comes down to. And there's probably people watching saying, "Oh, we're fucking crazy and he's crazy." Well, crazy what? Because God created men, women. There's a difference. Yeah. Each has their own specific job and what they have to do. To raise. What is it? It takes a village to raise one child, right? If you don't have all of these positive influences and reinforcements. Listen, you need buffers. No one's saying you don't need, because you do.
That's what our wives are there for.
Yeah, listen, and it could be someone else.
well, the other
You know,
thing,
a friend. I
100%,
mean,
yeah.
it really can be.
the other
you
thing,
know?
you talk about the village. You knew your neighborhood was all on the same page.
Hell yeah.
I remember this one. I love telling stories at this age now. I remember. I remember I did something at our house, my mother's house.
Right.
And then, so I knew it was a bad deal. I knew something was going to go down. So I just took off, got on my bike, and went to my buddy's house, Potter's house, about a mile.
Potter!
Oh, Potter!
We had a Potter too.
We had a Potter too. Everyone should have a Potter. That's all I'm gonna say.
9 years, 9, 10 years old. I'm hauling down to the Potter. They got 9 kids, so I figured I could get lost in there somewhere. I walk in the door. Bam! Mrs. Potter slapped me across the
Hell yeah, that's how it works.
Mrs. Antonucci pulled my hair and Victor Antonucci's hair as we were lighting fires in the side of the house. Whooped my ass all the way to my basement. My mom looked at me, didn't even know what we did. She whooped my ass and sent me upstairs.
right? She hit me. I looked at her, and she goes, "Your mother called."
That's how it worked.
End of story. And let me tell you something. I love that.
You're better
lady.
because of it. And I know right now, I was better because of it.
I
too.
love that lady till the day she died.
100%.
Hell yeah, and that's the point. Your neighbors will whoop your
Accountability.
ass.
It was accountability.
You got out of line, your neighbors will whoop your ass. There was a common ground of communication
Right.
among the neighborhood that if I'm not around, you're in charge, and vice versa. And then you got the 1-2.
What would it be like for a kid today that went to you and said this, that, whining, and you said no, you got to take care of it, and then you go to your house, whine about the same thing, and then come to my house and whine, and I tell them you got to take care
of this, right?
What today is they try to fix it.
Absolutely.
You can't.
Yeah.
There's
no.
you got to be on
There's
your
no
own.
pressure. There's no pressure.
No, there's none.
until
And you
it's a
can't
while.
fix everything either. Your kids have to learn sometimes.
And then when they hit that wall, whenever it is, college or in the business world, they
they
find
crumble. They crumble because they're so used to everybody taking care of everything.
Well, the worst word is you're special.
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone's special.
yeah.
Special
and then you go
how?
to the real world,
Yeah.
and you find out you are not special.
Yeah.
And then
You're regular.
down.
Yeah.
You're regular, but you can create yourself special.
Yeah.
But you're not given the ability to be special. That's earned.
I think what Peter's trying to say is the specialty he's talking about is the ones coaches talk about are living in their parents' basement at 30 years old. Because you made them so special their whole lives that now you've created this human umbrella around them that they have not been forged to any type of steel. Iron sharpens iron. We've talked about this a million
I've
times.
heard that statement.
You and I have said this a million. Iron, that has nothing to do with just sports. That's fucking life.
Absolutely.
You know, if you're gonna put yourself around people that are not like-minded, guess what? There's no progress. There's nothing. Everything's not tomfoolery, hurdy-gurdy, and mumbly fuck.
Well, listen,
it just doesn't work that
and
way.
for you guys picked the right wives that
Support that.
To support that, and that's
No, it's-
listen.
trust
You
me.
know,
and it's a battle too
the
at
young-
times.
You know, as
They're lawyers.
As kids,
They are lawyers.
as kids, we spent a lot of time with our parents, right?
Right.
My mother didn't work much,
Mine
so
didn't
she
either.
was in the house, and she basically raised us, and how they wanted it done,
That's right.
And a few times somebody had to get a beating, and that's the way it went. And it wasn't detrimental.
And guess what, too? A few times we just earned a beat.
Oh,
Let's just be honest. Because think about how much stuff we got away with that we didn't get beat. I should have been beaten so much that I should be walking with a limp.
Well, think about it this way too. When we
You
use
do
the-
limp a lot.
I got bad knees. I got bad knees.
when you use the term beating, it wasn't beating.
No,
it was discipline.
no.
It was discipline.
we called it that.
It was discipline.
But
For God's
you're
sakes, the
absolutely
cops will whoop your ass.
Hell yeah.
And because they knew, and
And they didn't want to ruin your life either by
cops
putting
grabbed
you
you
in
by your
jail.
fucking ear and ran you and put you in the car and take you home.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not there beating you. You're
No.
fucking. Hey, guess what? Nothing is
Knucklehead.
worse than the police bringing you to your house
And going, here you go.
And trust me, half the time the cop gets out, winks at your father or mother, and he amps it up by 10. You don't know the difference. You find out later on, but that changed you. You know what? You don't mess. Like, even with my son, he knows I know all of them.
Right.
And I go, just so you know, it's 1980. They have the right to whoop your ass and put you in the trunk and then bring you home and then open it so I can watch you as we open it and we look at you, you're in the fucking trunk. Because that's my own personal agreement with those cops in the area. They know who you are and they know what the standard is. You're wrong, they're not. And they're going to enforce that so that, hey, you turn out okay.
Yeah.
And that's...
It's like the Scared Straight program.
Yeah, the
out
society,
there.
the thing we're talking about society, that's the problem. There's the village.
no
The
fear.
village is not together.
There's no
That's the problem.
fear because there's no fear because there's no consequences anymore.
Right.
You know, if your dog bites somebody and you don't discipline him, he's gonna bite somebody again.
Right.
Right.
Also, the village tends to be very dysfunctional now.
Oh yeah, you hit the
So-
nail on the head, Peter.
So I want to keep my mouth shut because I can tell you stories that I'm aware of. But some people are neurotic and crazy, and they want everyone else to be that way also
Yeah.
around their kids.
Of course.
And they don't understand why, you're not the same way.
Right.
Your kid fell on the bike, okay, that's fine. It hurts. After 3 minutes, it's fine. And get on the bike and ride again.
Correct.
But they expect you to treat it as a tragedy.
Right.
Yeah, everything's a tragedy.
Yeah,
That's
tragedy.
a good point.
Yeah.
Everything's a tragedy.
Everything's life and death. It's like, no, it's not life and death.
They rush them to the hospital
Oh, yeah.
for a boo-boo.
Dude, I got my daughter trained. The other day she calls me. She's over a friend's house because we had some of the kids were being helped out by some families, and when my daughter's over his house, and she's telling me this story about how she tripped and fell and cut up her knee, and her other friends, she's on speakerphone, her other friends chiming in, and she's telling the story, and she goes, "But Daddy, I didn't cry." And I'm like, "That's right, Juliana. That's man shit right there. We don't cry over every little thing." Like,
You don't.
she gets it.
No.
The kids in our families, they get it.
Yeah, no. And it's few and far between.
And my father told us when we played sports, he told all of my brothers, don't come home and bitch and moan about the coaches.
Yeah.
Not a word. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? You want to play? Do it. But I don't want to hear anything about the coaches. And that's what doesn't happen today. Kids, got a lot to say. Parents have a lot to say. And it makes it tough,
I think
difficult.
and to your point though, is that the coaches back then got it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So you would never question it.
No.
I was blessed, you were blessed, he was
Dude, it was
blessed.
respect.
But they also knew what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. I always take the story, I always tell this story, I apologize, but it's one of my favorite stories as a child. I remember 7th grade, okay, I tried out for the basketball team. I'm no fucking basketball player. In my mind, I was, okay? No fucking, I never got cut from a sport in my life, ever. We played in all-star teams, I was I'm an athlete. I got cut. Coach Snyder, remember Coach Snyder?
Oh, yeah.
Coach Snyder was
Grizzly Snyder.
I mean, he was an ex-boxer. His face was fucking mad. And that's his face? Yeah. That was his face, like that, all the time. Whether he was happy or sad. I remember coming off the court, and he looks at me, he goes, "See ya." And this is what he said. I'm not embellishing. Who the fuck told you to go out for basketball? I swear on my mother. He goes, he just like the face, you're no fucking basketball player. He goes, you're a wrestler. He goes, anyone who looks at you can tell you're a fucking wrestler, you're a fucking basketball. You go try out for the wrestling team. I did, and I was undefeated.
Unbelievable.
Okay? I was undefeated. Undefeated those years. Okay? What did he do? He told the fucking truth.
Steered you in the right direction.
He told the truth. You know, I told my own son, he had that idea, I'm going to be a basketball player. I went out and beat him in the fucking driveway. Me, in a game of horse. You just got beat by somebody that sucks and couldn't play basketball. So you're not a basketball player. Yeah. But that's what's missing. That's what's missing, the fucking truth. Like
there's no connections with the coaches and the kids.
So all really goes back to society. Society change, right?
Society changed.
Over time.
Can you imagine Coach Snyder doing that today? Holy shit!
He'd have lost his job.
No pension. They would have blasted him. They would have been done. You know what I mean? But like, I love
one thing the coaches in our days did. They definitely built character.
Hell yeah, they did. They pointed you in the right direction of character.
You know,
no doubt about that.
In my day, they weren't big on the X's and O's, but they were definitely character builders.
Nope,
for sure.
No doubt.
You can do a lot with character. You just have to be able to filter it in the right spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just wish these parents would understand that. You know, get them tough, get them strong, and respectful, and they're on their way.
Get back to parenting.
Yeah.
Get back to old school values and parenting.
Right.
And that changes it. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. We want to thank Coach Rossini again. It's always a very, very, very entertaining episode here when he's here. Love him. The Match Out Podcast. Myself, Paul Ciato, Christopher Shea, Guy Rossini. We will see you guys next time.
Thank you.